Welcome to the Leadership Doctor, where we talk about all things leadership. I am Dr. Christine Fugilier. Today I wanted to talk about leadership and diversity, or leading diversity. Nowadays that has become more prevalent than ever, and it's important that people in a leadership role understand what does that mean for them. So one of the ways we can first start talking about it is let's talk about what is diversity. Diversity is not just about race. Diversity includes an entire spectrum of areas that we should consider when we are either promoting into leadership, we are developing leaderships, we are hiring into leadership, and how that's going to impact our organization. So diversity is about age, sex, race, sexual orientation, education, socioeconomic background, veteranship, all of those and so many more. When we're thinking about from a leadership perspective, we want to make sure that we are doing it for the right reasons. And that would be we want leaders in our organization to be diverse because one of the things is our customer is typically diverse. And we also want to bring in a diversity of ideas, diversity of thoughts. And we do not want the same mold, if you will. So one of the things we're going to focus on really quick today is about something called the cultural fit. Cultural fit in and of itself is exclusive and it's a microaggression. And there is so much more you can read about microaggressions through this book. It's called Subtle Acts of Exclusion. And it was written by Tiffany Jana and Michael Boran. So this is really good. It gives you a lot of information about microaggressions, which we'll be delving into in later episodes. So back to the cultural fit. So a cultural fit tells us that we want someone in our organization that will fit in. And what does fit in typically mean? It typically means someone who is very much like we are. Someone who's going to go along to get along in cases, someone who's going to meld right into the fabric of the organization, and someone who is really part of have the belief of the vision and the mission, which that's not a bad thing. You do want people in your organization that are very much in line with your vision and your mission. Here's where the exclusion and the microaggression comes in. That automatically says you may not be looking for someone who's different. So take a moment for that and say, well, that's not what we really mean. That's the message that people receive. If you're telling someone they're not a cultural fit for your organization, then you are saying, I want someone like me in my organization. I want someone like Bob in my organization. So you want someone like the people who are already there. So I would suggest we use a different word as well as action in this word. We say we want a cultural add. Cultural add is we want to bring something additional to the table. We want to add something different. We want to add a diversity in a way that is going to help us be better. We want to add people who have different thoughts. We want to add people who have different ways of problem solving. We want to add people who are going to bring different ideas to the table. So a cultural fit versus a cultural add. Which one sounds more appealing to you as a leader? Do you want someone who's just going to fit right in? Or do you want someone sometimes who's going to be, they're going to be positively disruptive? And that's okay. You want someone who's not afraid of conflict. That's okay. Conflict is good when it's done right. So there is a lot to be said when we put out there that we want people who are a cultural fit for our organization. It raises the question and it can give the perception that you are automatically being exclusive because you want a certain type of person within your organization. So something to think about. I hope this was helpful. If you have questions or comments, or there's something else you want us to tackle or discuss, please drop so in the comments. Again, our goal here is to simply make leadership great again.